Ghost of YŌTEI is an action-adventure game, Sucker Punch's sequel to their 2020 Ghost of Tsushima. But Tsushima was one of those games that I saw so much of, and all the accolades were rolling in, and I just never picked up a controller and played it. And that means that YŌTEI is my first foray into the Ghost world, and I'm really enjoying it. But I can't tell you what's different about this one than the first one. I can just tell you, you're playing a very good game when you're playing YŌTEI. This is a tale set in the shadow of Mount YŌTEI, and it's one as old as time. It is a revenge story. You are Atsu, a samurai who was orphaned by the coward Lord Saito and his lieutenants, and they're the aptly named YŌTEI 6. So this is a story of bloody revenge, but while Atsu is a determined and violent protagonist, there is a softness to her. And it's not a revenge out of righteousness, but a duty. And that makes her a much more measured and multi-dimensional character. So it's much more interesting moment to moment, the decisions that she's making as you go through the game. And that's important as well, that there's like a tonal kind of shift to her moment to moment, because the story is non-linear. You are thrown into this reasonably large open area, and you choose your own path of vengeance through the YŌTEI 6. That's not just like which part of the map you go to, though that is a part of it, but in interrogations with would-be assassins who find you out in the fields, and over meals with fellow travelers that you find on your journey as well. So your dialogue choices lead you down those different narrative paths. You might know you want to go after this one of the YŌTEI 6, and so you're asking the questions that lead you up that path. It just means that everyone's playthrough is going to feel a little bit different, and you can kind of have a personal vendetta and set out for one in particular and really focus in on that. And you find all that as you're going through what is a very dense open world. From a tech perspective, I mean, obviously you're seeing how stunning the game is, but it's very lush and varied and full of life and creatures running around. But from a game design perspective, you can't go 30 seconds without running into a point of interest that's worth stopping for. It's always worthy of your time. I haven't made much of a dent in the main story because like I've played 10 hours and I've just done a whole bunch of this kind of stuff.
Stabbing.
Oh, yeah.
Stabbing, but getting interrupted, finding a shrine, finding all the things that upgrade you, which is a big part of this game is Atsu's growth as a character and getting yourself prepared for combat, because the combat is not Souls-like, but it is quite hard in the boss fights and kind of minor boss fights. It's deep and rewarding, and you unlock a bunch of different weapons, and then you're putting points into skill trees associated with those weapons, so it makes you more effective with the weapons that you prefer to use, though some weapons are better against some enemy types, some weapons are better against enemies holding a particular weapon. Lots of enemies have multiple sets of weapons, so you're changing weapons mid-combat as well because they're swapping on you. So you kind of always want... It's kind of rock, paper, scissors times 5, and you're trying to use the best weapon against the attacker that's in front of you.
Was that stances in the previous game, I believe? I might be mixing it up. I thought
That's definitely in maybe Neo or...
yeah, I have a feeling it was something to do with stances, or like you'd pre-build heavy, middle, light. But yeah, in a way that it was like you had this kind of triangle of
there were stances in
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Paper, scissors, rock, and it was like you'd fail if you picked the wrong one, basically.
That was tricky. Combat was really hard in Tsushima.
Well, I imagine it's kind of developed here in the same way.
Similar.
Yeah, and it's
good though.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's very parry driven, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's I would say not very forgiving in the parry timings, but it is, I've found so far, pretty forgiving in how much health you have access to.
Yeah, okay.
You die really quickly, but you have a couple of health potions. You have like basically instant health regeneration down on the D-pad, and that's spending a skill point, a focus point.
Yep.
And you get more and more focus points as you do the bamboo challenges, and you get more health bar as you go to the spas. So you're rewarded for just being in this beautiful open world because you find all these things and you're just getting boons all the time. I don't know that this is entirely a negative about the game, but there's like a really gamey feel to YŌTEI, which I think is stopping me from being fully immersed in the world, but I also don't think of it necessarily as a negative because it's just really fun. The game feels fun to play. It looks really cool as you're playing it. but your horse just appears right behind you when you need it.
Assassin's Creed-ishly.
You can fast travel wherever you need to. There's things that like break the immersion a little bit, but they're just quality of life features. So I'm not really frustrated by them as much as I'm not really. When I find myself starting to get immersed in the world, I'm pulled out by something that I do, a movement or whatever. But it's all fun. So as long as it's in the service of fun, I think it trumps it feeling immersive because it might just feel laborious.
Because it's interesting because like an obvious comparison is the Assassin's Creed series, which is made from Ghost of Tsushima as well. Yeah. But it's not a fantasy game. It's grounded in reality. So it's funny that you'd be like, oh, when it's got gaming elements, could they be at odds with it? It's not a like simulator. Like it is still a video game, and it is still prioritizing fun. And it's. I'm glad that they're not going so hard down the realism path that you don't get any of those advantages of it being a video game. Because like again, it is stylized. This whole thing is beautifully stylized.
Absolutely,
You know, it is still a fantasy of history.
And this character is absurdly talented as a warrior and a musician and a diplomat and they're just the most incredible person that's ever lived kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to play them, and so it should feel good.
It's kind of like the fantasy level is as far as a like the previous game reference, like a Kurosawa film or something. It's like it's a stylized Japanese revenge film done in a video game, so it can take some liberties with those gameplay elements, which is totally.
All that style is still very baked into it. You can turn on the Kurosawa mode and it goes black and white and grainy.
Yep.
There's also a couple other modes now that are based on other Japanese.
Yeah, I think there's even ones that are like kind of like manga directors and stuff with like full hyper saturation stuff, and
it's cool. But the game itself is really cinematic and well directed. And I put that on and I took it off pretty quickly. It's the kind of thing I think I would enjoy on a second playthrough.
Yeah.
Or just when I'm done, just roaming around the world and turn it on and go and get in some fights. But
there's a Samurai Champloo soundtrack feature. You can have fucking Nujabes on there. Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's so cool. I mean, I think like there's again, I didn't play the first one. It feels to me like a very well-established game design. They kind of, right from the start, they really rock it out, knowing exactly what they are, what they're trying to do. From a storytelling perspective, it's really fucking strong right from the start. And all of the story beats that I hit are just really strong and really well delivered.
Yeah,
the only thing that the other like thing that I think is maybe a little half-baked at the moment is this non-linear storytelling, because it feels like it could be as powerful as Nemesis system. You know, it's like that's like a game design team that became like everyone's talking about the Nemesis system because of how interesting it is as a game mechanic, and it's so close to being really strong in here, but it also feels like while you feel the effects of it, you understand that it's only as powerful as you make it. You have to lean into going like, oh, I want this story to go this way, and so I push it that way.
Does it feel like there's a golden path there still? Or like, because a lot of those games do that, but they're like, you can do all 6, but we'd like you to start with these 2 and pick one of them, and then maybe there's 3, and then
it doesn't do that, but in my 11th hour in the game, not a pun, literally the 11th hour, I started going up to a part of a story, and it started tutorializing me. Okay. I was like, like I've done this 15 times already, but it's like you should go to bamboo things and cut them because you get skill points, and it was telling me story, like it was early narrative as well. So it was like I deviated from the main path, and when I came back to it, the game didn't know how much I already understood about the game.
Oh yeah.
So rather than it being like there's a golden path, I guess that is saying that there is a golden path in terms of how you experience the story being told to you. But it didn't recognize that, oh, of course I understand how I get more health when I get in the hot springs.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's a whole cutscene with a character that introduces me to the hot springs. And
Yeah.
I do a walking quest where I follow them up to it, and they're like, isn't it just nice to hang out in the hot springs? Like, yeah, I've been in 15 of these, buddy. Look at my health bar.
No, it's
That's
so
the bottom
true.
of the whole bottom
If
of the
I
screen.
get dropped somewhere, I'm going left.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
I'm figuring out where it wants me to go, and I'm going straight the
I
other
do the
direction.
same thing. I'm like, this
No.
feels like the right direction,
Yeah.
so I'm turning around.
I remember I would play like Life is Strange, and you get like stuck into the next section sometimes. It's like you have now passed through, and you're like, no, let me go back. I didn't do everything.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like there's any of that so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do
go
the if it's telling me to go somewhere, go the other way when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, and I skipped all of Act 2. So,
Well, that's like, yeah.
Incredible.
yep, somehow.
That famously,
Well done.
it's made to be broken or made to do your own storytelling. I find sometimes though this model of there's multiple vengeance paths, like sometimes they're made for second playthroughs when you come back more powered up, and if there is a new game plus to be like, now I'll go and start with the harder of the 6 straight away, because I often find that's a funny bait and switch where they're like, you can go after any of them, but realistically it's these 2 that you
Yeah.
want to start with, otherwise you won't be ready to go. But I'm like, now I'm kind of curious to when I play it go, I'm going straight for the fire guy on the hard top right corner of the map and see.
I'm definitely not going to where the big boss is straight
Yeah,
away.
okay.
And that's like a personal choice of like, you want the revenge to feel like you're killing out all his underlings
Yeah.
underneath him, and
Yeah.
he's scared in his tower, So
Yeah.
I like that as a story element. So,
Yeah.
but apparently I can go straight there. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't pushed the
Cool.
limit of that. Maybe they'll be walled out somehow from that.
Did
kill.
any of you play Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, I played like maybe, like 7-8 hours of it. I felt like I got spread super thin.
Yeah.
It was like it kind of Assassin's Creeded me for a bit. I'm like, there are so many things I want to do, and they're all really spread out.
Yeah.
Also, it had that thing where it was really interesting. I enjoyed it. Beautiful game. There's a lot of tiny micro sections to the side quests, and there'd be like 8 or something to each of them.
Yeah,
and I'd
right.
be like, oh man.
I mean,
There's a lot of
like
steps.
There's a lot of steps, right?
Yeah, and they'd
Yeah,
appear
okay.
as like little diamonds within the side
Yeah.
diamond thing, and I'd be like, man, there's so many rungs, and I can see the ladder.
There's a diamond
so
in my
it just
diamond.
it feels like
I feel like I got to a
checklist.
similar kind of like 7 or 8 hours, and I really appreciated how different it felt, both just mechanically and also from a sort of narrative sense than
Yeah.
an Assassin's Creed or a traditional open world. But I think I hit that same point.
Yeah.
And I remember it was because I loved, and I think there's something similar here where like your waypoints can be marked, but they also, it's the wind kind of telling you which
wind in the
direction
grass.
which
The wind
way to
is
go.
the wind is still absolutely a UI
Yeah.
element that is.
I love it so much.
gorgeous.
There was definitely a moment in the previous game where I think the wind changed direction 3 times on me, and I was like, just sort this out. And I did the same thing. I spread myself too thin. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that it feels like maybe there's a little more focus in this one in terms of those 6 targets and the revenge story, which is
Well, I
mean,
guess I guess it's how you interpret it, because it's entirely unfocused by design.
Yeah.
Of going like, here is the star map of everything you can do.
Yeah.
So maybe you will find it overwhelming in the same way, because there is a bunch of different directions you can go right from the start, and you will get distracted by side quests with
Totally.
components to them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, go here, interact with this person. Oh, you learn something new now that you've
Yeah.
had this conversation. Go back to the first person,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you might change the way you want to end that mission. So yeah,
I think I like knowing the story is in the confines of a revenge story versus a character learning what their story is as they go through it, and you following them, being like, what is my journey here? I'm a lost soldier. I'm trying to work out what my direction is, and that's going to be revealed to me as I progress. Here, you know you're within the, this is going to end one way or another through killing these 6 people.
I'm so done with like the brooding protagonist.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
just like
Oh my gosh.
down on their luck, heavy breathing at everything, and don't have enough time for the people around them.
Yeah.
What's her name? Atsu?
And people really liked, I've forgotten the name of the character from Tsushima, chat will know, but people they were great, and people really like that character
Yeah.
as well. But I've heard
Yeah.
even better things about this main character, and in terms of their motivation and kind of like their attitude.
I love every moment of her performance. It's
Jin
like,
Sakai from the first
Yeah.
one, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
It's great.
My
Sick.
big question is, when you were doing those bamboo challenges, did you find that it really helped to have the little foxes dancing on the side while you did
Sure
them?
fucking did.
How else do you cut bamboo?
They were so cute.
They are very
It's
cute.
delightful.
You
They-
follow foxes
You don't
to
follow
treasures.
foxes in this
Oh,
one. I remember that from
Yeah.
the first
Oh,
one.
you did do that, yeah.
You follow golden birds,
Ooh, lovely.
and
Okay.
you have wolf companion in this game. I don't think you had. Did you have a wolf
No.
companion in the first game? So not really a companion, but like it's like your spirit animal is in the soul of this mother wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Who one of the many things that you can do on the map is the wolves are being cleared out by Saito's
right.
baddies, and so you go and release them with that wolf, and then it comes and helps you in fights. So it's like if you get downed, it can save you randomly
tight,
sometimes.
cute.
Which is
Drags you
super
out
cool.
and gives you a net.
It just like it attacks the
Don't
thing
worry.
that's attacking you. So
Amazing.
then, even in like a boss fight, like randomly it'll jump in if you've been killed, and then you get like a second wind. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff.
I remember the
Yeah.
previous game being so dense, and I'm like, I'm kind of ready for one of these
dense.
again. Like,
Yeah.
I've been hanging off the open world stuff, but I'm like, I know there's so much quality here, so this is great.
I don't think persona is the word I was looking for.
No, I think that sounds about
Your
right.
persona. It's very
Yeah.
good. It's very good, Jake.
Maybe
Cool.
play it.